Once the summer months disappear and the nights draw in, our paddling opportunities, whether in kayak, canoe or on a sup, can become more challenging. Colder temperatures and increasing river levels give rise to different and sometimes difficult paddling trips. As rivers flood, which can look exciting from the bank, it creates new hazards and entrapment situations which we must be aware of. Here's the same section of river in normal, medium and high flood. You can see the clear difference in levels, with the medium level probably being the more challenging of the three levels. In this video, we'll look at some of the hazards and dangers found on a flooded river. Stick around to the end for my 7 top tips for paddling on flooded rivers. Let's get going. Hazard number 1, faster flows. An obvious one to start with. As the water levels rise, more water is trying to pass down the river and the flow speeds up. Paddling upstream may become difficult or even impossible. Travelling downstream becomes faster and obstacles in the river arrive quicker than before. Paddling techniques need to anticipate the faster flow and allow for this when navigating the river, obstacles and the get in and get out points. Hazard number 2, debris. The level of the river against the bank increases and this can catch and drag down debris into the main flow of the river. It's not unusual to see branches, trees, garden chairs and other interesting items floating down the river. These items can crash into you and cause you to capsize and or injure you. Hazard number 3, entrapment. With the level of river higher, obstacles that were previously away from the water are now in the water. The flow of the water against and around these obstacles can create some very dangerous entrapment situations. Water flowing around a tree trunk will have a higher pressure of flow against the tree trunk. A kayak, canoe or sup stuck against this could be very difficult to recover. Entrapment of your body or limbs is also a possibility, especially in tree branches that are at water level. Larger debris such as tree trunks can become trapped across the river, blocking either all or some of the way through. These are extremely dangerous hazards and ideally will need to be portaged up to avoid difficulties. Sometimes it is tempting to boof over a tree trunk, especially if it is level with the water. You should do this with care and always have a rescue plan in place should things go wrong. Hazard number 4, higher riverbanks. Getting in and out at normal levels may be easy due to access to pontoons and steps. As the river level rises, these access points may be underwater or in positions that are no longer usable. With changing river levels, you could be cut off and unable to exit the river, especially in a canoe or a sup. In an emergency, for instance during a swim, exiting the river could be slippy, difficult and tiring. Hazard number 5, colder water. Well, that was a tough old paddle today. Flooded rivers are mostly seen in the colder months. The water temperature will be cooler and the air temperature may not be much warmer. A swim in these conditions can move into a dangerous situation very quickly. Wearing suitable clothing, including a dry suit, helps to minimise this. Hazard number 6, water quality. River water is not the freshest at the best of times. When the water level increases, there are extra contaminants collected in the river water from higher up the banks and in the fields. These contaminants discolour the water and could contain infectants, poisons and feces. Swallowing these or allowing prolonged skin contact can cause illness. Hazard number 7, disorientation. Higher water levels, especially where the water has broken the banks of the river, creates a completely new landscape. Water could stretch over fields, roads or into other rivers and lakes. Routes that were easy to see before could become unrecognisable and perhaps impossible to paddle. As you are paddling, you can easily go off course, which may lead you into dangerous areas or situations. Recovering back on track takes energy and time. Hazard number 8. Currents and whirlpools. Faster flows create strong currents and whirlpools, especially around obstructions. Being aware of these and avoiding them where you can is safer than trying to paddle through them. Whirlpools do have the potential to tip over your craft, which could result in a swim. Hazard number 9. Underwater hazards. Hazards that were normally land-based and not on your radar to avoid can become obstacles for you. Fencing, walls and other architectures can sit beneath the river surface and can create extra currents, whirlpools or entrapment hazards. Fencing made from barbed wire creates a nasty hazard and should be avoided at all times. Hazard number 10. Changing levels. Paddling in floods over even a short period of time can see changing river levels, either rising or falling. This can produce a changing landscape as the trip progresses. It's best to keep a constant review of river levels and make decisions on whether it is safe to carry on or not. Let's finish with my 7 top tips when paddling on flooded rivers. Number 1. Inspect the river before and continually during your trip. Number 2. Know your route and use maps or GPS to ensure you are in the correct and safe area. Number 3. Take all the equipment you need, including throw lines and extra clothing. Number 4. Tell somebody where you are going and leave your exact route. Number 5. Make the right decision to paddle or not. Number 6. If in doubt, portage any obstacles. Number 7. Wash your kit and yourself after your trip. Safe paddling, everyone.